starting. So would you mind introducing yourself and how you came to Salem?
Yeah, should I look at the camera?
Yeah, exactly.
So my name is Peter Nagy, and I've been in Salem about 3.5 years now.
What brought you to Salem?
The house brought me to Salem. My wife now, my girlfriend at the time, she bought a house down here, and so it's just because there was a nice house available, and it was our introduction to Salem, and we were happy here. We liked it.
Great. Where'd you move from?
I was living in Washington at the time doing AmeriCorps, and she was living in Tualatin.
Great. So now that you're in Salem, what are the community resources that you really identify and use regularly?
Community resources, well, I bike around town a lot, so I consider that a resource, the ability to get around on my own. I work with a few of the nonprofits around town, and either work and or volunteer with them, and I work in the schools as well.
Great. On a kind of practical level, in terms of places that you shop or how you, well, we already talked about how you get around. I guess, yeah, where are you able to get food and kind of the things that you need on a daily basis?
Well, food's an important thing to me, and I spend a lot of time finding the best places for that. I mostly use a health food store here in town, Life Source, because they source a lot of organic, local, and fresher stuff. But I actually make connections with farmers around town. There's a few farmers that I use directly that I buy from to get my meat, eggs, milk, and vegetables.
That's great. Is the Life Source, the health foods, is that in Northeast Salem?
It's in South Salem.
South Salem.
Yeah.
Are you able to ride your bike over there? Or
I biked
drive?
there a couple times. I've actually walked there. I think it's about 12 miles round trip.
Wow.
That's pretty awesome. That was like a year ago. But yeah, I usually drive. Yeah, there's actually a park down. I go to Mentor Brown Park just about every week with my dog. So it's kind of on route there. So it's kind of convenient, but kind of not.
Yeah. Now, in terms of culture, art, opportunities, anything like that, is there anything in this neighborhood that you, like performances or community events that you attend regularly or have attended?
Not really. I think the closest I can come to in that category is I've been to the Willamette Art Center a couple times. My wife went to a class there to learn how to use pottery, and I think that's a really amazing resource where we can learn how to do that and make stuff ourselves with our own. Some people use it to sell and make a little money, and artists use it to make money and express themselves. And all that.
Yeah, the Willamette
Art Center.
Art Center,
Yeah,
great.
it's part of the state fairgrounds area.
And then finally, what would you love to see in this community that you aren't able to use or have now?
Well, I think both food and using our bodies to be healthy are important for everybody. So I don't have a specific answer for it, but some way to make it more practical for people to get exercise in the community, and for kids to be outdoors and active more, as opposed to watching TV and playing video games, stuff that shuts down the body as opposed to invigorates it. So ways to be more physically active, and then with food, ways to access healthy foods, support local farmers, and have direct connections between people who are growing food well and people who are using it.
That's great. And then I just remembered that organization that you spoke to, the Harvest one.
Yeah.
Would you mind just describing it briefly?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's called Neighborhood Harvest, and it's the first year this organization's been active. I think they started last fall, and it's pretty spectacular. It's modeled off a few other harvesting organizations around the country. There's quite a few other ones, and essentially the goal is to get unused fruit or vegetables into the hands of people who need and want those. So they coordinate between the residents here in Salem who have fruit trees that they don't need their entire harvest. Maybe they harvest some of it, but it's way more than they can handle. And also some local farms where they're having a little more large-scale operations. So they coordinate those folks with the people who can sign up and want to pick and come out to these is taken home by the volunteers, by the harvesters. The other half is given directly to either the Marine Corps Food Share, food pantries, or the folks that get out to people who need the food.
Sounds like a great program.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And then I completely forgot to ask, what do you do? You said you worked in schools and volunteer a lot, but...
Yeah, I do a few different things.
Yeah.
Really my main focus, one of my focuses, I'm a graduate student at Lewis and Clark School of Educational Leadership, school counseling program. I'm in my second year out of 2 to become a school counselor. So that's one of my goals. And I intern at a local high school. I have also been working for American Food Share as a garden project specialist, supporting the community gardens here around town, Marion counties. Mostly here in Salem, but there's also some in the further 2-county area. I work for College Outdoors through Lewis and Clark College, and they run outdoor trips for their students. I also have been working this season, the end of the volleyball season. I worked for Oregon School for the Deaf as a middle school volleyball coach.
You do a lot.
And then, yes, I have some other jobs. At one point, I have 4 jobs and 2 days of internship in dance class. So it's a lot of exciting stuff.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to turn it off.